What if I were to tell you an entire village just disappeared overnight?
Olive, are you trying to start my stories without me again? Just because you think you're better at reading these than me does not mean that you could just sneak behind my back and start this video without me. This is a team effort, Olive. No war, no warning, no signs of a struggle. Just a ghost town where life had been just mere hours before. This is the mystery of the Anjikuni people, and it's one that still sends shivers down my beard every time I think about it. In November of 1930, Canadian fur trapper by the name of Joe LaBelle trudged through the snowy wilderness of northern Manitoba, Canada, He was familiar with these lands, being a fur trapper and all, particularly a small, isolated Inuit village along the shores of Lake Anjikuni. He'd stopped there before. Warm fires, shared meals, friendly conversation. It was a place of life, not mystery. But when he arrived this time, silence. LaBelle expected barking dogs, smoke coming from the chimneys, maybe even the sound of children frolicking around in the snow playing. Ha ha ha! Instead, nothing. The village was eerily quiet. Too quiet. He searched the entire village. Tents stood undisturbed. Sleds were still there. Food was still all over the fires. Rifles untouched. Personal belongings intact. Not a single sign of a struggle. Not a single clue as to where the 30-some-odd population of that village had disappeared to. Even stranger, the village's sled dogs, vital to survival in that area, were found buried underneath the snow. Starved to death. Whatever happened, it hadn't been a sudden panic. Oh no. This was a complete disappearance. LaBelle sprinted to the nearest telegraph office and contacted the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the Mounties as we call them. Olive, you know that was supposed to be your Halloween costume this year. Please go take that off right now. You look absurd, by the way. The RCMP launched a full investigation, and what they found only deepened the mystery. The RCMP confirmed Joe LaBelle's account of the Anjikuni village was truly abandoned. No signs of disease, no damage to the shelters. It looked like the people had just got up and walked away. And then there were the graves. According to the Mounties, several of the village's graves had been dug up, not by animals. Oh no, oh no. These graves were perfectly excavated. The bodies missing. I smell a necromancer. Villages? Gone. Sled dogs? Dead. Corpses? Removed. What on earth was happening? Over time, theories began to swirl around, of course. Some said the villagers had fled from a threat, maybe a hostile tribe, or an unknown illness of sorts. But if that were true, why leave the weapons? Why abandon all of the dogs and supplies? Why dig up the dead? No way it was they were running from something like that. No, didn't make sense. Others pointed to something even stranger. Northern trappers and travelers in the region had begun reporting strange lights floating up in the sky weeks before the village's disappearance. Glowing orbs moving at impossible patterns. Could this have been an early account of a mass alien abduction? Olive, we've got aliens! Aliens? Where? Skeptics claim that the whole story was a hoax, a big flawazoo. Some say it was exaggerated by the media, or even fabricated entirely by journalists looking for a spooky tale. But here's the problem with that. The original reports predate the tabloids. Joe LaBelle's testimony was backed up by RCMP logs, official government reports. It wasn't just hearsay. It was fully documented. Today, the area near Lake Anjikuni remains isolated. There are no clear answers, no definitive proof as to what happened to the Anjikuni people. The Canadian government, as trustworthy as they are, have no official record of the Anjikuni people. Of course. Some argue that's evidence enough. The story was invented. Others believe it's just a quiet governmental cover-up, like Canada's never done that before. Covered up a bunch of missing or dead people? No, definitely not the Canadian government. Whether it was a tragic migration gone wrong, a forgotten battle in time, or something otherworldly. One thing's for sure. An entire village disappeared without a trace. And to this day, nobody's found him. They say silence speaks louder than words. And in the case of the Anjikuni people, the silence has echoed for nearly a century now. If you like this mystery, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and leave us a comment letting us know what you think happened to the Anjikuni people. Was it really just a falsified story to gain some media attention? Or was it something else much more mysterious? Until next time, keep your tinfoil hats close. You never know who's watching.